Hello everyone, welcome back to the Plunder Den. In this week's episode, we're going to take a look at Baron of Dice new Blood and Plunder dice sets. So this is, before we get down to the table and look at some really cool dice, I just want to do, a message that I usually put at the end of the episode, but it really could use your support and supporting the channel. And the best way to support it is actually just to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really doesn't cost anything. I don't charge anything. There's no Patreon or anything like that. I do all these things for free. But I really could use your support and just hitting the like button or leaving a comment down below and subscribing to the channel really helps. So I just wanted to say that before I got down to the dice. All right, so now let's talk about Baron of Dice. They've recently partnered with Firelock Games to release dice sets for Blood and Plunder and Oak&Iron. So they have two different sets of dices. And actually looking at these dice, they could be used for Blood and Crowns and some of the other Blood series that Firelock Games has. And I'll show that in a minute when we go down and look at the dice, and I'll tell you what I mean. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the Summer of Plunder campaign. So, you guys know I'm always a supporter of that, usually giving out terrain during that event. It started June 1st, so we already have actually started into the campaign, and it goes all the way to August 4th. And you have an opportunity to really play some games of Oak&Iron and Blood and Plunder. And this year they've added Port Royal, so you can actually play all three of those games and earn points for your faction and win prizes. There's a lot of prizes that you can potentially win on this campaign. And I'm going to put a link down in the description below for the Summer of Plunder, the Blood and Pigment page. They have they really run this program and all the entry forms and all the information. They actually did a really good YouTube video, which I'll put a link to as well down below. That way you guys have access to all that information. As well as the Baron of Dice, I will put a link to their store. And the really cool thing is if you purchase these dice at the Baron of Dice website, which of course I'll put a link down below, if you put in the code Plunder Den, you can get 5% off your dice set, which is really cool. So you can get some savings on these really neat dice sets that I'm about to show you. So the best way to really show you is go down to the game table. I'll just briefly show you. These are little tins they come in. This is a Blood and Plunder one. I think this one's, this is a Spanish. It's got a really, like a cherry color to it. It's really nice. But we'll go down and look at all the factions. They have all the factions for Blood and Plunder and all the factions for Oak&Iron. There is a native set of dice, but there isn't a native faction yet in Oak&Iron. Even though, there's been some custom-made ones for that, some rules made for that. But I think at some point they'll probably release something for the native faction for Oak&Iron as well. But these dice all could be used for Port Royal for sure as well. So, that's the best thing to do is probably just get down to that table. Let's check these really cool dice out. We're going to go through all the different factions and so you can see what they all look like. Really pick out which ones you want. Actually, my favorite, I'm going to shout it out now, is the French set. I don't know, it's kind of like an ivory color. Anyways, we'll get down to the table and check it out, and I'll show you all the different sets of dice. So I definitely wanted to start off by thanking Baron of Dice for sending out all these dice to the Plunder Den for us to check out, and so I can share with you guys today. So the first faction or nation we're starting off with is the British or English. What I was talking about in the intro about the dice being kind of universal for other games is for the main symbol on the dice, usually it's a 10, they have a crown. So right here, which is perfect. You could use this for Blood and Crowns. You could use it for even Blood and Valor to represent the English. And they have one dice in all the sets as a offset of dice. sometimes when you have a character or a different person or sharpshooter or something like that, you have an off-sided dice that you can have on there to roll opposite. Or maybe it's your commander dice, right? It's got the commander on it. So each set has that. So I'm showing you the nation's Oak and Iron and Blood and Plunder dice at the same time. So these dice are like a matte red. There is two, like the Spanish are red as well, so the two distinguish the two. And when you see them side by side, they are quite a bit different. The matte color is a lot different, and it's more of the cherry red, but it's kind of like a black smoky color into the Spanish one. But these are the Oak and Iron dice as well. So it has a crown as well, and I just wanted to show you all the different sides. I kind of do that with all the dice so you guys can see what they all look like on all the sides. But that's our Oak and Iron dice for the English or British. All right, so now we're going to move on to the French. Now, I always said that this is, at the intro, this was my favorite one. I don't know, it's got kind of a ivory color, but it's got like gold leaf in it or something. It's really cool, and when you put it in different sides of the light, I'm trying to capture it on the camera here for you, but yeah, this is definitely the standout set for me. It might actually make me want to play with the French more, just so I could use these cool dice. I don't usually play French, but I mean, I have a French force, and I easily could be using them. And, I really do like this set of dice. So it might be pushing me to play with the French more. And then again, it has the blue dice, same as the other ones. And let's move on to the Oak and Iron dice. Now, some of them are, I was having a hard time getting them out of the little tins. But just show you what they all look like. That's pretty cool that they have sets for both an Oak and Iron. Now I had re-put this in the tin. I already been inside of it. You can see how that's the proper way of putting them in the tin. It's a tight fit, right? So you have to put it exactly that way to get them back in that tin if you want to keep using it for a storage area. I don't know. I might keep using the tin, or I might just stick them in I have a dice, like a container with all of them separated in it. But again, Oak and Iron, just as cool as the Blood and Plunder ones. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite set. And I know I put it on the second one. I should probably saved it for the last, but the other sets are amazing too. But if I had to pick a favorite, this would definitely be my favorite is the French. And having that fleur-de-lis on there, it you could use it again for Blood and Crowns, and use it for other games, which is really cool. Okay, so now we're moving on to the Pirates. So this is it's kind of like a smoky black. It's got kind of like a haze in it, like it's smoke from a cannon or something. It's actually really neat. Sometimes I just can't capture it on the camera, but it's in there, hidden in there, really. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit of it. But it's got the skull and crossbones, of course. You can see there's a little bit of it. But really, really neat. And it's got more of a matte finish, too. Even though it's not a Blazer black set, but I mean, it's got a little bit of a... I guess it sells that smoke a little bit more on the dice. And then, of course, you get your blue dice as well as all the other sets. So that's kind of the Pirates is kind of a darker grayish, smoky color. Almost all black. And we're going to check out the Oak and Iron version of them. I don't know why I keep showing you the Oak and Iron symbol. I figure you gather that, but I'm showing you anyways. But I just definitely wanted to show you all the different dice for both sets. And, I know I'm doing a dice review here, or looking at these dice for this episode. Just a note, I am still working on my Trey Parker table. Obviously, it's just keep on going. I'm going to do the Stone Fort next. I think that's kind of something that I really wanted to work. Stone Fort with a prison in it, and so that's really what I'm working on next. And hopefully my next episode, that'll be the third part of the Trey Parker table. But today we're just checking out dice and reviewing these amazing dice from Baron of Dice. So that was the Oak and Iron ones. Like I said, similar to exactly to the Blood and Plunder ones, in color wise, anyways. I mean, the symbols are obviously different. So now we got the Dutch, and the Dutch is at initial look, it looks like it's just like orange or dark yellow, but when you start looking deep into them, it also has kind of a gold leaf look to it inside. So it's more than just yellow. It actually is really, really kind of neat. Once I can see them kind of get it off. You can see it right there, the gold inside of it. It's really awesome. So yeah, I think I like both sets of dice with the gold in it. I think I like the smoke too, was cool, but I think that gold leaf in the Dutch dice and the French dice, it really looks awesome. I'm glad I can somewhat capture it on this on my camera here. And again, blue dice, same thing. I know I got to test them out every time. I don't know if I think the Dutch is the best score I've gotten. I got 2 criticals on that one, but the other dice rolls, yeah, I wasn't great, but all right, let's take a look at the Oak and Iron version of them. Same things, they were exactly the same. Was the gold leaf in it, but just the Oak and Iron version of it. The only thing that I see that's missing here is they don't have the European kind of factions represented. It would be really neat to have like a really white dice, maybe with red letters and numbers in it. I'm just pitching this idea. Because the European nations, there's a lot of other smaller nations that are represented in that faction in Blood Plunder. So there's still that one to do for Blood Plunder, I think. So hopefully maybe Baron of Dice will come out with a set for that. All right, so now we're moving on to the Spanish. The Spanish is kind of, like I said, it's got like a cherry red. It actually looks like cherry, but the red is kind of like a smoky red on it. I know, it kind of reminds me of the Devil's Advocate or something. The intro there with the red smoke on the back. It's pretty neat as well. You can see this is pretty cool as well. It's got kind of like a black smoky coming through the shiny red. So it's definitely different than the English. The English is, like I said, the matte, and the Spanish. So you won't get them mixed up on the table. They're quite a bit different. They're both red, but they have different sheens and different undertones in them. So they are quite different actually from each other. All right, so let's check out the Oak and Iron version of them. And they got the cross on there as theirs, the X of the Spanish symbol. So that could also be used for other Spanish nations and other games. It's kind of something that these could be universal in some of the other Blood series games from Firelock Games. And that's what I really like about these dice. I mean, you could use them for the games that they're intended for, but you could use these for other games. A lot of the Blood series are done with a D10 system, so I don't know if they're coming out with different customs for some of the other Blood and Plunder series, like Blood and Crowns and Blood and Bayonets and all the other ones that are coming out, but you definitely could use these for a lot of those games. And I really like this. I really like that deep red too. It's really neat. I do like the Spanish, and I think maybe this might be my second favorite. I did say I like the Dutch with the gold leaf in it, but I do like the native faction. It's kind of more of a jade color with a little bit of a shiny gold leaf inside of it too. Now, of course, there's only a Blood and Plunder set. As I mentioned in the intro, there isn't an Oak and Iron faction. Even though there has been some homebrew rules and some 3D printed versions of it. Some people have ran some native, but there isn't any official Blood and Plunder rules quite yet for it. But I think that's something maybe down the road they'll add. But you can see it's got that kind of undertone again, and then of course it's got the native symbol on there for this dice. So yeah, look at it. It's got a little bit of gold leaf in it again as well. So really cool. I know, like I said, at first glance it looks just like green dice, but once you start actually really looking at it, there's quite a bit of undertones and cool colors inside the dice itself. So Overall, I really do recommend these dice. They're awesome. If you want to customize your army more, and you get all your miniatures that you can build and customize and really build out your forces. But now you can add all these dice too as well to customize your game as well, which is really, really awesome. So I was really excited when I heard the announcement that Baron of Dice was going to do this. Mike had mentioned it, and I really love these dice. They're awesome. So I do recommend you pick some up. So we're just taking one more look through everything. That's pretty much it for this episode. Again, next episode I plan on going right back to the Trey Parker table and the Stone Fort. Now, it might take a little while. I'm going on vacation. But we'll get it out there for you guys to watch the third part. All right? Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.